Hello everyone, I'm Sharon from Quantum Trance Healing and I'm coming on to do another trance demo. Really privileged to be doing these. I'm in my spiritual healing space, which I've been working in now for a few months now, and building up the energy, and you can already see the energy vibrating. Now it's interesting, I'm instructed by my guides to work in a red light, so we did one the other day which is to show overshadowing and etc. And they actually came through with a message about disclosure. So if you haven't watched that, go back and watch that. It's an interesting message. But we were experimenting, but we didn't have the red light very strong. We had it more like that. But we found that the viewing wasn't as good. So today we're having it more prominent, and can't have a fan on because you can pick it up in the sound. So this room could get a bit hot. I'm hoping my guides are going to have a spiritual fan cooling me down when I do this. So I go into trance, probably sit in the energy for a bit to see if there's any overshadowing or anything. And then my guides will come through, and then sometimes they sit for a bit afterwards. I try and put in the message below the YouTube when they come in case you just don't want to sit and stare at me for 5 or 10 minutes. And again, that's up to you. Obviously, if you're not interested, please skip past and move on to the next YouTube video. So let's go. Now I'm just going to kick my shoes off. It's going to be very hot here. I mean, I'm based in Wales in the UK, and yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a heat wave. So here we go. Greetings to you. We are the Salatorians, and you would have seen us if you have subscribed and watched the YouTube videos. We are part of her team, and we are in a collective of 5. We come on this day, Earth Day, to blend with this human you know as Sharon. And we come to give a message about dimensional existence within the universe. For those of you who have little understanding, and those of you on the higher understanding path, would probably say, what is dimensions? Or there's no such thing as dimensions. Well, for the language of Earth, and for your understanding of where you are in your evolution of existence, we've had to, into words, try to describe what dimensions are. You have a quantum energy within the universe of existence, of unity. And within this is a creative intelligence of knowledge and frequencies and energy way beyond your understanding. So you cannot attune into this as yet. So for your books and your web of your world, we bring you dimensions and an understanding level that you can comprehend and try and understand what our existence actually is. We will move aside from the timeline of linear existence you exist in, and we will move into an energy within the universe where we can simultaneously exist in many existences and time frames of multiverse. From my or our point of existence, we can be a guide to 1,000 years ago in your Earth, as well as now and 1,000 years forward, because it is all simultaneously existing within the existence of this quantum universe. But for many species, it is seen as point of birth to point of death, a linear time frame. And that is very much so for the physical species of the universe that have not really ascended beyond 4th and 5th dimension of existence. But as we say, I will now explain to you in layman's terms. So we have dimension 1, and we shall relate this to Earth for your understanding. Dimension 1 is the rocks, the ground, the soil. It gives life. It is an intelligence. It absorbs energy. It absorbs the history of Earth. Level 2 will take you into plant life again, an intelligence, a form of ever evolving, interlinking in dimensional 1's intelligence to give communication between trees and plant life. And then we evolve into dimensional 3, where the animals and insects and intelligence and humans exist. And they survive on the back of 1 and 2. And then we go into dimensional 4, a metaphysical, or should I say, how can we explain 4 to you? 4 is an energy beyond seeing. 4 is the dimensional energy where you can astral travel, where your ethereal self, some known as a soul, stay attached to the human form, the physical form, but can travel beyond the barrier of the 3D energy into the light. And the light brings you all that is in the quantum. And some of you who are spiritually developing, like the Sitter, are in the fourth existence already when they communicate with us. Level 5 dimension. Now, this is a dimension which many call love, and this is because this is a dimension of change, a dimension where physical beings that have lived in hate and doubt and self-destruction, as humans are at the moment, will ascend into a way of being where this will no longer exist. And love will be the dominant energy within that existence. That is where the cellular structure of the physical can change. That's where the mind becomes more telepathic, more understanding of the quantum time frame that exists in the universe and takes you out of the linear existence. Is when your empathic energies will become stronger. And you'll have a knowing rather than a watch. And then we go into dimensional 6. This is the stepping stone again, like the fourth dimension is. The fourth dimension is the bridge to number 5, and 5 is a bridge to number 6. And 6 is an enhancement of 5. But we can start saying physical beings can start being more multidimensional. They will not need guidance. They will not need guides to guide them. Their telepathic intelligence, their physical frame by this point, will be the being that will guide others in lower dimensions. And they might be able to transcend, which to us means they can form an ethereal part of themselves to travel, like many do that guide you. And they come to your circles and they give their guidance and opinions and help and healing, and yet their physical form is existing somewhere else within the universe framework. And then of course you've got your 7 dimensions. Well, this is a very interesting dimension. This is where the physical form starts to alter, becomes more crystalline, becomes more into tune into the light of the universe. The Lemurians are at this stage of existence. And then we get the dimensional 8 and 9. Now these quite often are seen together in our minds as the dimensions that take you into the existence where the physical will slowly be no longer needed. It would not need subsistence. Breeding will no longer take place. And the physical presence of physical human form, or whatever celestial form it is in the universe, will no longer need the physical form. It will become ethereally light. And this will be in the 10th dimension, 11th and 12th. In the 12th dimension is way beyond all understanding. All physical has left. All has cleared. The 10 and the 11 clear the path for that. And just pure light. This is what we are. We are light. We are 10, 11 and 12th existence. We can present ourselves into a physical form. We can present ourselves as perhaps an ethereal connection we've had with a human body on earth, which you would understand as incarnation. And we can show ourselves in this light, in this way, so humans can connect to us. And through all of these dimensions, we are united, we are unity, yet we are individuals too. Your ethereal light body is a living light being, and it is the part of you that transcends back into the universe of where it originated from. It has intelligence and life. It has meaning. It has purpose. It wants to grow. And it can grow in many, many forms. And this is what you would understand as your soul. So those of you that do not believe in past lives, I suggest that you wake up, my friends, and you start to understand that you've had many, many past lives in all existences through the universe, forever evolving and forever growing. And the ethereal form that we talk about, the essence of you that is connected to the quantum, can exist with the human being as you'd understand as a soul energy, but also be with many other species in the universe at the same time. And if the human therewith on earth becomes more highly ascended and of greater higher understanding, they could start to sense this in their dream state and astral travel state. And it might cause confusion. It would seem like what we call an awakening dream, like you've lived it, you're in that reality. And part of you is multiverse. The multiverse, we call them, for your understanding, multiverse timelines. Multiverse timelines is an existence, a stream of existence through the quantum. Yes, there is a beginning and ending, but many exist at the same time, living different purposes, different meanings, different lessons to be learned, forever evolving. And if we come across a species that does not wish to evolve or have got stuck in their three-dimensional way, we offer assistance like we do to Earth through guidance, intergalactic councils, light councils. And then if that planet cannot evolve, and it's very much hard work for us and for this species, like it has been for humans, not to destroy each other, we will keep persevering. And we will keep persevering until that race either decides to self-destruct or evolve. But it has to be in unity. A large part of that race needs to want to evolve. And when you evolve, or when they evolve, they become part of our celestial program, understanding our ways, given new knowledge, new clean way of living, allowed to leave their planet to explore beyond their solar system. Because we do not want, as we've discovered in the past over a vast history of the universe, species that, yes, have technology, can leave their planets and their solar systems, but are destructive and seek power elsewhere. That is not what many of us seek. We seek peace within the galactic. Only peace within our framework as well will allow us to exist, and exist in a way, in the light, that we can help many others. So we have brought you this dimensional information just to try and help you understand the evolution of humanity, very layman's terms, as we say. This beautiful lady has channeled from us about dimensions, and I do believe if you go onto your Google and search the Quantum Trance Healing website and look on something called a blog, which has much information and knowledge, that you will find a great deal more information about thy dimensions for your greater understanding. And we've also channeled them into books that she has channeled from us. All this knowledge lays there for you, my friends, and we ask you to seek this knowledge. We ask you to take time to read and observe and look beyond your limited boundaries of vision and perception, because you will have a wonderful ride of excitement and amazing knowledge if you do so. Trust your journey as we trust ours. We will now leave to sit in the energy a little bit longer. Oh.